Michael Figured, Conversations.
Hello, Marjolein. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you, Michiel?
I'm great. It's been such a long time since I've seen you. I can't even imagine when the last time was.
I guess it was in school, so that must have been, 5 years ago already?
But
Or
I
no,
think I
4.
also saw you at your shop, no? Didn't
Yeah,
I?
true, that's
But
true.
at that point, your shop was still in Ene, I think, and you
Yes.
moved away, right? But,
I had
you-
a little pop-up in the center of Oudenaarde, but that was for a period of 3 months to try out how it would be to have a shop in the city center. But now it's back to my workshop in Ene. So,
now you're back
yes,
again.
indeed.
Okay. But maybe for the people that don't know you, maybe you could give a small introduction to who you are and what you do, because you do so many different things that it's hard to keep up with. So go ahead.
So I'm a very creative person. I studied industrial product design, the same study that Ruben, who also passed in the podcast, is.
Yeah, he was actually the first one on the podcast, but I did a reboot. So now
Okay.
I started coming again from one.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the
So-
actual first person to join.
He was a real number one. So
Yeah,
we had the same degree, the same course as product designer, and that's a course where we learn to be very creative. So it went from graphic design to making toys to decorate a bus and all crazy things you can think about. But the fun part was it was really hands-on. So you never learn to be an expert in one thing. You learned to handle the crazy ideas you have. And that's something that fit me very, very well. And after my studies, I started working. I started with Quickstep Unile as a graphic designer, but there was like 2 design chefs above me, and they told me, okay, do this, do that, make this, and that was so boring. So after 3 months I said, okay, I quit this job and I go back to school and I will learn a technique to do a craft. And at home I said, okay, I will go learn to weld, to make furniture. I will go to learn how to work with wood. And they said, no, that's not something a girl should do. And I guess maybe when my parents were bored, that every day I suggested something new, from making shoes to...
Did you learn to do welding, or did you learn how to make your custom jewelry in your studies already, or
No,
is it
so
you learned after?
it was afterwards. If we were interested in something, we had a whole workshop in school that we could work with wood, or metal or plastic or whatever we want, also with a lot of 3D printers and all the new techniques. But you were never an expert in something. It was always you need to figure it out yourself. So therefore, I need to find a craft that suits me, so I could go to school and be an expert in it. And I guess by chance it became being a goldsmith. So
How did you get to the point of wanting to be a goldsmith? That's something it's a very special choice, right?
Yes, indeed. It wasn't the first thing that popped into my mind. So the funny part was, my parents said you should go to school, you should get a degree. No, you shouldn't work with your hands. That's not something a girl should do. And I really wanted to. So every day I had a list of all crafts I should be able to learn. And I was like, okay, I will make furniture. I will make things with leather. I will do this. I will do that. And always the answer was no. So it can be that they liked the fact of a goldsmith, but in my opinion, I more believe that they were just tired and said, okay, shut up, just do your thing and you will see. So that's how I ended up being a goldsmith.
Are your parents like are they traditional, or did you feel like they stood in the way of doing what you are doing right now, or did support only came?
No, they
Yeah,
support
after
me in
a while?
everything, but my dad is a craftsman too. So he knows how hard it is, how hard you need to work to build something up. He, the same as I'm doing, he built when he was my age, a company out of nothing, all on his own. Also as a craft, he is a welder, so he makes doors
Okay.
and stairs and all those, also metal things. So
Yeah.
he knows what it was, and he said, "Now I think it's better that they support me and they give me
Yeah.
advice and they suggest." So they really stand behind me, and I think it's a good thing that they reflect and say, should you do it sometimes?
That's kind
To,
of the role of your parents, right? To
yeah,
kind of to make it like a safe decision, or to make sure that you are safe right now and in the future. It's just something that parents do, I guess. They're being a bit protective.
indeed.
Um, you said your father was also into welding. Is welding regular metals kind of the same as welding gold? Or I have no
No.
clue whatsoever.
Uh,
I know nothing about it, so if you could please educate me with your knowledge, I would be very glad.
Okay, so I don't know so much about welding, but I do know the types of welding we can do. You can have a weld, with a laser, but that's not a welding that I do. And that you can compare with the TIG welding, where you have a very thin flame. That's more like a laser to, connect things, but
That's for regular metal.
that's for regular metal more. Yes, but what I have a bottle of propane and a little gas, and then I put my flame on it. It's a very small torch to make my piece on temperature. I have 3 different add-ons to make a gap close. So I need to put something on a gap. Solder is solder in Dutch.
So that's not gold again.
Now
If
for
you're working
gold,
with gold, it's
yes.
not gold.
So for gold, it's a different torch, and it is a different way to connect the pieces together. Like in welding, it's more like with baguetten and something like that.
Yeah.
But with me, it's more like playing with temperature and solder, and it's a different technique. But we both start from wires and plates. And sometimes to have, for example, a ring build up, I can ask my father, okay, so I have a plate for that and a wire for that, and I want this. How would you make the connection? What would you do first? What would you do after? And that's something we have in common.
Oh, so he's still kind of helping you on the way and still teaching you new stuff.
Yes, he not the way that he does it, but he's a creative thinker also, so he helps me whenever I need it. Also, a fun part, there is a machine. In Dutch, it is a trekbank. With that machine, I make my wires myself. So if I melt the gold, I should make a very nice and clean wire. But sometimes the wire is so thick that I am not strong enough for myself to pull the wire. And before I had a special machine with a motor who does that for me. I asked my father, "Hey Dad, can you come over please? I'm not strong enough." So he's really helping me whenever he can. And then he said, "Okay, I will make you a machine so that I don't need to show up every week to pull your wire."
That's great. But what what are you doing with the wire then? The wire is used as a basis for the things you are creating.
Yes, so most of the things, 80% of the things starts with a wire, so that can be round or square or triangle or a plate. So een platte plaat, like we say it, to build up.
I never title any of my podcasts, but the Dutch people that are watching or listening to this will find it very funny.
Yeah, my English teachers in school wouldn't be very proud when they hear to me now, I guess. So it's been a long time.
I'll just plug the podcast for them. It will be fine.
Okay.
So are you also buying the raw materials yourself, or how do you get to finding resources and so on?
Yes, there are a few possibilities. So I am able to buy wire myself, but sometimes I need to start with gold from the people because it has an emotional meaning to them. So I can recycle their gold, or I can start with wire and plates myself, or I can make the legering, that's the aloe, I guess.
The aloe.
Yes, the aloe. I can make myself to choose the color I want. So if I have 18 karat gold, I must add copper to have more a rosé gold. I must add silver to have more the yellow gold. And I must add something from the platina group to add more white gold. It's not that easy, but it's
Such an interesting process.
It's a little bit chemie.
Yeah, and I guess it's also a lot of chemistry that's involved, right?
Indeed. You have to think and calculate all the time, so...
Maybe we can send the video to a teacher in chemistry.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
They would be proud, I guess. Or I'm sure, actually.
Yeah.
So do you have any special stories about people who asked you to make some kind of jewelry and where you had to use some of the resources that they gave you, or anything like that?
Yes, there was a very nice man. His name is Luc, and he gave me a piece of a meteorite.
A meteorite?
Meteorite, yes, but a very special one, and he said, you should make me a ring out of it. So it was really experimenting because I tried to saw it, but it was too hard. I couldn't cut it. It couldn't be set, so it had to be casted with an old Asian technique. So it was like a very fun thing to do because I could be so creative. It shouldn't be very commercial. It was like, okay, you're the artist and you can do whatever you want with it, as long as it involves this piece of the meteorite.
Where did you find the meteorites?
He is a collector of it, so he had a lot of meteorites from that. And I could choose the piece I wanted to make the nicest design. So I chose.
And what did you make of it? What did you create?
It became a ring, and more like the model of a signet ring. So I choose a very flat, a signet ring. That's a signet ring is more a type of ring that a man wears. It has a flat piece above, and then goes very fluid to the flat piece. So the band of the ring was the model of a signet ring, but very geometrical, because the stone I chose was a rectangle, so it went all around the rectangle.
And the whole ring was in meteorite?
No, only the piece you saw on top, and all the rest of it was gold.
Oh, wow.
So it's a really nice thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to imagine what it looks like, but I can imagine it looks very nice. So,
It is.
talking about rings, I didn't even know you had a boyfriend already.
Yeah, a year and a half already. So
Right.
yeah, before all the corona.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. So yeah,
How
we
did you meet?
at a party in Ghent on a Sunday. There was a garden party, and it was a really nice sunny afternoon. And yeah, we started talking on a picnic table, and yeah, we said, okay, let's see each other again, and that's how it started.
Oh, that's so great. And did he give you a ring already, or?
No, but he gave me earrings this Christmas because a lot of people say,
Romantic guy.
yeah, indeed. But a lot of people say, yeah, for him it's hard to buy me jewelry because, yeah, I'm proud of my work, so I really want to wear my work. But he did it very creative. He said, okay, I will choose for stones for you. I make design and you should make what I designed. So
Wow.
actually, it is something better. My boyfriend designed my jewelry and he chose his
Wow.
stones. So I
so
guess
cool.
I'm a really lucky lady.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, right now you are chatting with me with his name, right? I
Yeah,
can see that on Hangout.
I chose his computer because mine is at my workshop and it's not a laptop. So therefore, at home, yeah, I can use his. So
Wow.
don't tell his
Yeah.
boss.
Okay. And is your boyfriend also as creative as you are?
Yes, he's creative, but he's also very ambitious and he is an entrepreneur too. So his boss is his father, and he is the fourth generation of Grandma's Coffee. So in the west part of Flanders, they are very known. Wherever you go to have a coffee or go to supermarkets and want to buy coffee, you find their brand. And it's a local family company that started in 1935. So yeah, he is also as driven as I am.
Do you like coffee?
I love coffee, yes. Well,
Fortunately.
I usually didn't, but I learned to drink coffee in Italy. I did also two of my studies, summer schools, short parts to learn the techniques better and better in a very short period. And there I learned to drink coffee because the first weeks everyone in Italy, they stop at 11 and they go to a local bar to have little espresso. And at that moment, I didn't like coffee. But then I was like, okay, I'm going to try it. I add a lot of sugar, a lot of milk, and okay. And
Oh, no.
yes, I started with that.
No.
But then I discovered a very short ristretto, and it's like a very little one. You can.
It's like a shot.
Yes, a little shot of coffee, and that's the one I really love. So.
Okay, but you're not adding milk and sugar to that, right?
No, no, I drink them pure. So.
And do you drink it? Are you drinking it for the taste right now or for the energy boost?
More for the tastes, and actually more to when I'm with clients, I want to offer them something to drink, and that's really nice to give them a very good coffee and also a little icebreaker on on conversation starter. So that's really nice.
And so they also offer ristretto then?
They have espresso, but you can make them very small and strong, so that's how I do it. But when I give it to people, I give them the normal one, so a normal cup of coffee. But for myself, I choose
coffee is the best thing to get you through the day, right? So
Yes.
on a regular day right now, so I'm working from home.
Yeah.
I drink 4 to 6 cups of coffee a day. I don't know. So but it really helps. Although, do right now I'm drinking them from the coffee pads, the Senseo pads.
Yes, they do
But I
have
also
them
have
too.
a Bialetti. Do you know
Yes.
Bialetti?
I don't know Bialetti, no.
It's a kind of a metal coffee maker,
Yes.
and you have to put in water first, and then some coffee grounds on top, and then you screw on the top, and then after a while the water starts boiling, and the coffee comes out like a fountain.
That seems nice.
Yeah, and well, it's really fun to watch. I don't know. I did it like 100 times already, but it still stays a fun thing to
You
do.
should send me a small video of it next time.
Oh yeah, maybe. I don't know how many people would be interested in seeing a video of coffee coming out of
Well,
but,
I guess my boyfriend and his parents will, so they are interested in coffee, so
Oh,
I think they
okay.
will
Well,
think it's really cool.
I recently bought a camera, so maybe I can make it into some kind of cinematic experience about brewing coffee. That
Cool.
would be actually nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Since you are both creative,
Yes.
do you also do some stuff together?
Yes, for fun, it started with an idea like, okay, I asked Nicola, is there something you would really like to do? And by walking, especially in the beginning of the first lockdown, we walked like every weekend. We went to the Ardennes for a day to just walk around and talk and enjoy nature. And then I asked him, is there something you want to do? A fun thing, and he said, yeah, actually I would really like to make something to drink but with alcohol in it. And that's how it started, to make a little liqueur together. We discovered elixir, which is a very, very old recipe. And the fun thing about it is all our grandmothers, they know it, they drink it and they like it. But the most of our generation doesn't love it as much because it's very colorful, green or yellow, and that's not very tasting. It also has a lot of sugar, which makes it more like the feeling of a syrup, and that's also something we really don't like. And it's very strong. Normally an elixir is like around 50 degrees. So we brainstormed together, we tried out a lot of different drinks, and we came with an idea. We really wanted to create an elixir in a new liquor, and that's how we created together with a master distiller, our Delbosque. So Delbosque is only 28 degrees, so you can easily drink it pure as digestive, or you can mix it up with a cocktail to make a sour or tonic or whatever you desire. And you don't have added sugars, so it's very pure. You have a very herbal taste of only Belgian forest herbs. And yeah, you really should. Yeah, you told me already you tried it.
Yeah. I tried it. I think a month or two ago. I went to visit our friend Ruben, and they bought a bottle and they offered me a drink. And I already saw it on social media. And you're drinking it right now as well.
Yes.
Nice product placement. Do you have the bottle there as well?
Of course. So it's a really nice bottle with a really nice design, very pure. So very nice to gift also.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll definitely put it in the post I make about this podcast. So hopefully people will see it, and if they're interested, they can buy it as well. I know I will. Like after this call, I'll definitely order a bottle.
Okay.
That's for sure. And I saw you can also mix it with a lot of cocktails.
Yes, indeed.
Right. So I think about a year ago, I went to Poland for my job, and I sat together with the CEO in a restaurant or in a bar. There were a lot of cocktails available there, and that's where I learned to drink like espresso martini, for example, or whiskey sour or any kind.
Yes.
So very pleasantly surprised to see on your website, is it delbosque.be?
Yes, indeed.
Or, yeah,
Yeah,
that,
it's
that you can also make different ones.
delbosque.be.
And the Delbosque sour, I mean, oh, that I'm already looking forward to the moment when I can actually make myself one. Do you have a favorite cocktail?
My personal favorite is the one with the ginger ale because it has a very nice taste together. It's not as strong as a 28 degrees when you mix it, but the ginger ale takes the flavors of the Delbosque very good. They bring them up so you can taste them even better. So that's why it's my favorite one. And sour indeed is also on the top of my my favorites. So and with tonic.
Yeah, but I really like it, and actually, like from the people that and maybe you know other people as well. I found it surprising, or maybe not that surprising, but you are one of the few people that I know from like our age group, I guess, that are as entrepreneurial as you are. I don't know if you know any other people that are like you.
I guess I can count them on my both hands, and they are over whole Belgium. So it is, it's hard to find people that can understand you and then where you can connect with. But they are there, and yeah, I really like to meet them, and I really like to talk with them about common struggles and common experiences. So they do exist.
What do you think the reason is that not a lot of young people are starting something? And actually, you started two things, but lots of people have a lot of ideas, but they never really try it out. What do you think the reason for that is?
I think it's both maybe a personality, but also the mindsets of taking risks. Because starting a company is very hard working. In the first 3 years, I worked like 18 hours a week. This year, I had like 10 days that I didn't work from the whole year. So maybe people are a little bit scared to make that to do that. But when you do so, I really should give the advice. It doesn't feel like working every day. So you're having fun in what you do, and you have to do tasks you don't like. That's with every job. So it's not that it's all just fun, but you do it for yourself. You know your goals, you know what you want to achieve, and that makes it so much more fun that you really don't mind having a lot of hours, a lot of late works, a lot of weekend works, and less vacation. And taking the risk, because it's also you have to have a little bit of finance to put in it. So you have to calculate very well. You have to dare to take a risk. That gives stressful moments for everyone. So I had hard periods too. I still have. But for me, it's worth all the effort, because I have a very big dream. I would really like to have an in-house company that stands.
What?
I really would like to have a very big production house. So I would like to have a big workshop with lots of people working for me as designers, as goldsmiths, as stone setters, as genealogists. So I hope in 20 years I can say I achieved my goal. Maybe I never will, but I have a dream. So I'm working on it.
Exciting goal. So do you have plans on already hiring people, or?
Yeah, I just hired my second one.
Oh,
So
okay.
they are not full time. I have one who works for me in the shop. So she helps me with the customers. So she advised them. She can talk about my design to adjust it so they like it, or choose the color of gold and the stone. And when she does that, I can keep on working on the rings to make. So that's very nice that I have someone I can trust and who is on the same mindset as I am. And she really looks forward to work more and more days together. So hopefully this year it will be able. And the second one is Lisa. She also went to our school, Lisa van Dorpe. She has,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
it's a very
Yeah.
nice and sweet girl. And
The twins.
yes, from the twins, indeed. And she does the marketing. So she did an internship with me, and now as a student, she didn't finish school yet, but as a student, she keeps helping me with all the advertisements and all the online marketing, because for me it's out of my comfort zone, and she can do it very well. So it's nice to work together with them.
All right. So you already have a small team that's working for you.
Yeah, it's starting to get. It's starting.
That's so exciting. I didn't know that you already hired people.
Yeah, it's not
And,
full time or half time yet, but it's in mind to have an. And I have also a second stagiaire, but she's still doing the internship with me until the end of the year, so until June, and she's working on very cool things too. So
Wow.
more for the designing
Wow, okay.
part.
And I'm honored to have you as a guest on my podcast, really. And also, you're the first woman on the podcast.
Yeah.
So that's also great, right?
Actually, I think it's really funny because a lot of people think it's so special that a woman does it, but to me, it doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man. It's really the personality and the effort you put in it. It's the mindset that drives you. So I do support that women have businesses, but to me it really doesn't feel special because I'm a woman. So yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone that wants to start a business, they can start a business. Whether
Yeah, of
they're
course.
a man or a woman or an old
It
person
really
or a younger
doesn't
person.
matter.
I mean, it doesn't matter, right? As long, but most people just don't do it. You're just one of the people that actually starts doing what you are dreaming of, right?
It is. Maybe I started with my custom made gold Smith label because I still was a student. So I really had nothing to win and nothing to lose. I just, after school, the first 2 years after the hours I went to school, I could start in the weekends I worked, in the evenings I worked. So that's why for me it's also normal to work late hours or work in the weekends, because it all started like that. And yeah, because I still was a student, it wasn't my main job to make money out of it. And that's why I could, the first 2-3 years, have a little bit easier than for some other people, because I didn't had the cost, so I could invest all my money in a machine park and tools and education. So maybe that's also an extra one I had that holds other people back.
And probably it also helps a little bit if your parents already know a little bit of how everything works, right?
Yeah,
because,
indeed.
I mean, starting a company from zero, like for example, as many people have a lot of ideas, I also have a lot of ideas, but I wouldn't know at all like how to get started. Just like, okay, I want to do something. All right, what's the next step? I'm clueless from the start till the finish line. So I guess having parents that are in that business really helps.
Yeah, my parents are always very critical, like, okay, 2 steps back, you're going too fast, or you're willing to have too much. So they really help me with putting back my feet back on the ground, as I say in Dutch. But there are also trajects from Unizo and Voca that are Belgium companies. They can coach you. So I did have coaching sessions with them too for like 6 months, for a year. And those are the really business-minded people that are willing to help you. You have like a meeting every month, all your schedules, and they can bring you in contact with the right people. A lot of people like to help starters or like to help other ones if they can advise. So for example, last year I had an interview with Willy Naessens and for the Sterk magazine. I don't know if you remember it. It was
did my research.
very nice. So yeah, it was like a 6-page interview, but for me the most important was I had some schedules, and having such a big entrepreneur who says, come over, have a coffee and let's talk together. And I had like a whole
That is really
morning.
Is he international, or is he?
It's
okay.
He's international indeed.
And he built swimming pools, right?
Swimming
or
pools,
big constructions.
big constructions, and he also have a food company. Frankie, a food company.
Oh,
Frankie and Willy Naessens is also one of his companies. So
Patrick is a brand from Willy Naessens as well.
Patrick, maybe I don't know that for sure, but Frankie Delmotte, a meat company from the neighborhood, is also one of his. So he has a few companies. Maybe it's not his name on it, but he's a real multi-entrepreneur, and it was really enriching to have a coffee with him, have a chat with him, and discuss about a lot of topics. So
he seems like a very nice person.
Yeah, indeed. It was like, for me, it felt like I just had a nice chat with my grandfather. It really was, it was amazing.
And what I find really funny is that he's always with his 2 feet on the ground.
Yes.
Or that's not what's funny, but he's always with his 2 feet on the ground, and he's not shy of making TV appearances, at least in Belgium, that would make him look kind of silly, I guess.
No,
because program in Belgium, The Smartest Man of the World,
yes,
he regularly makes appearances in one of these fragments where people that are participating in the quiz, they have to answer questions that famous people ask. And I really like that he also does stuff like that as well.
It is, and that's why I appreciate him that much, because he always stays a normal person, and that's something to appreciate. That's important to me. So
Do you think a lot of people, when they start gathering fame, that they start to walk or that they start to get I don't know how to say it. They start to get a big neck or something like that?
I haven't met, or I don't know anyone who became famous, so I can't really answer that. Yeah. No, I definitely don't want to be the first one. So.
But to be famous?
No, actually, I don't want to. If I could choose. I want to be creative. I want to enjoy the things I do, and to have nice ideas. Yeah, for me that's perfect too. So.
That's nice. That's nice. To be honest, I think I would like it if people like recognize me or something. I think I would be flattered if they did.
I think it all has its pros and cons, because if you just walk around the streets and everyone's talking to you, I don't know if I would like it that much.
Meteorite. That would be great, right? If they all asked you to make rings for you.
Yes.
But you also received a prize with Ramoon, handmade in Belgium.
Yes. I also have the HIB label, so that's a label that stands for makers. So companies who have like more than 80% of the production in own hands. So that will say that you're really sure that your product is made by a person in Belgium, and it's not just something from the mass production imported from China or Indonesia. Because especially for jewelry, whenever you go to a normal jewelry store, more than 80% of the jewels are like import from China, and from all those all those lands not so close to Europe actually. And there are only 3 production companies in Belgium that work on a very big scale, and also their production isn't that much in Europe, because I had for 3 months I was able to work in one of those companies, so I've seen a lot. I've seen what I like, how they work, but I also seen what I really never want to have if I would have a company like that. So I really have a high value to local made products, because for a gold ring, whenever you buy it by a local one, or you buy it from India or wherever, they both cost more than 500 euros for a golden ring. They are more like about 1,000 euros. So if you have a product from that value, I think it's really necessary to think, okay, where is it made? Are the grondstoffen, how do you say it?
Resources?
Yeah, are the resources well done? Because I also only work with gem suppliers who have the Responsible Jewelry Council certification.
Where does the gold come from? Or the resources that you buy, where do they come from?
I have one in the Netherlands, but I have also a few in Belgium. And the one I like to work the most with is the one that has the RGA certificate. But
and where do they get the gold from?
They go them directly from the mine. So the one that I work with isn't always in the company. Sometimes it's his wife, his mother, or the people who work for the family company. It's also a family company, and he goes like all around the world to discuss at the mine gemstone prices. Look, how they match the quality. And that's why I really choose to work with them. You
and
have like
gold mines are what is it, Southern Africa, or
most of them are in Africa. A few years ago I worked with Fairtrade Gold, but due to the small ask for it, my suppliers said, okay, sorry guys, but we really need to quit it because you are just with 2 less people who ask it, and we can't afford it to give it to you. So that's why the Fairtrade Golds now it's changed to recycled gold. So
and the Fairtrade is also more expensive. Probably.
It was a little bit more expensive, but if you see it like on the whole, value of jewelry, you would buy like for a ring of 1,000 euro, you have like to spend 20 euros more. So it's not that it has that big influence but you really have the assurance that the people who goes in the mines are no children, have security equipment, and they are not working with toxic things. But that's why I chose to only do the recycled gold. So the gold I use has been...
Only recycled gold.
So I can recycle gold from the people, but I can also buy recycled gold in the wires and the plates. So for that gold, no one went in the mine. So it can gold that has once been in your cell phone, in your computer, or been a ring, but that's brought to a company who makes then wires and plates out of it. So for me, that's really an important thing.
Yeah, I did know, but like the recycled gold, for example, does it degrade in quality, or is it always
it's
the same?
it's purified to the finest possible. So you really won't see another quality of it. So you really have a very nice jewel with it. It's not that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's not that you can have. If you have both rings next to it, nobody would ever see the difference. It's really the same, but that's the price you pay. It's worth the value for the plant and the people, and that's something that I the last 2-3 years found very important from the beginning.
Do you still see the same kind of demand for gold as a few years ago, or is it kind of shifting into different materials?
Now there's a new trend from lab-grown diamonds, and that's actually a trend I really don't like, because lab-grown diamonds. So now at the moment there are like companies like De Beers, and in Russia they can print diamonds in laboratoriums. But that happened in the past also. Then they called it moissanites. And in the beginning they were seen as equal. But you pay like for a diamond worth €1,200. You pay for a lab grown, so that doesn't come from years out of the mines. But just like a few days in laboratorium, €1,000. But
chemically, the diamond is the same.
The chemistry is the same, but the structure of the atoms isn't. So that says that when you have a microscope, you can see the difference directly if it's lab-grown or natural. So if you ask my opinion, lab-grown, you can see the difference with a microscope, so you can see it's not the same. So I think it's a bad investment of your money to pay so much for something that's not natural. But the diamonds I choose are from the Kimberley process, so they are all certified that the people who goes in the mines really get a normal price, an honest price for it, and they go into the mines with the equipment they need. So,
and the kind of the fake diamonds, are they less durable, or because of the structure?
They are the same quality, but the only difference is that the growing structure is visible in the lab grown. So you can see how in the laboratorium it is grown. It's not that they will break or change color or something like that, but it is a difference between something that comes from nature, because I really think nature has so much beautiful things to offer us. So if you say, okay, a diamond is out of my budget, but I really like another stone, then there are so many beautiful options to choose from who come really out of nature and who are responsible too, that I really don't like to work with something made by man if you have the opportunity to have something so much more beautiful out of nature.
You're more for the natural approach, and also I think probably the value just
Of course, at the
of
moment,
knowing that it had to sit in a cave or wherever they get it from
indeed,
for hundreds of years or thousands of years.
millions of years.
Uh,
So
yeah, millions of years. It's a very long time.
no,
Yeah.
indeed.
And so you're shifting from gold to diamond, or what are the other materials?
The materials I work with, I can work with silver, but I prefer gold because it's more durable. So if you wear a silver ring, I put the same effort and time and passionate as with a golden ring. But the only difference is a silver ring, when you wear it 5 or 10 years, it's damaged and you can't really make it very nice anymore. But if you have a golden ring, okay, in the first place you pay a little bit more of it. You pay like more or less 40% more for a golden ring than for a silver jewel. But the ring remains as nice, so your children and your grandchildren will wear the ring in the same in the same quality with no damage as you buy it from the day you have it. So
I
gold,
always thought that golden rings or
yes,
golden jewelry get scratched
yeah,
more easily.
it's not scratch free, but silver it's even softer. So it's not that a gold is something like carbon or titanium, so it gets scratches, but it's not that it has an other form or the stones fall out, or it is not a quality. So
And do people buy more rings now or less rings? What are the alternatives to rings? Because I can imagine people get married less than the old days, I suppose.
yeah.
But do they do something in return, or do they buy less jewelry because of that? What is your experience with that?
A trend that I see now is that the bird bracelets and the push gifts are coming back. So for a long time, people were not that much interested in bracelets for the baby when he or she gets born. But now it's really something that people like and ask for. And at the moment I'm making a small collection with very nice hearts and clouds and very cute figures, but still wearable when you get older. So it's not that you have a childless jewel, but in a very it's made for kids, for babies, but in a very stylish way. So you won't be ashamed when you wear it at the age of 25. So
So they kind of use the money that they would use for rings and use the money to buy something for the children that they get.
yes, and also for the wife. So another trend that really popped up last year is when the mother gives birth to a child. She receives at that moment a surprise from her boyfriend or husband, and that's mostly a very nice ring with a very special gemstone in color of gold she likes. So instead of an engagement ring, they surprise.
I'm making note for the moment that I have. I'll make sure to not forget the new trend.
Okay. But I do hope weddings are this year able again, because like more than half of my customers in the past were the young couples who get married. So for me it's really important, to make, in the first case, a nice engagement ring, because if it's a nice engagement ring, I can make a beautiful stacking set with the wedding ring next to it, and then you have like really something to dream of. So
Also, the disease was not good for business in Ramoon.
no, COVID was it was like adjusting the sales of my ship. Customer groups that were like the most important only took 5% last year, and other groups who weren't that main targeted became my almost only target group. So I really hope to be able to go to the normal situation soon, because even if marriages will go in a very small group, very intimate, they still will wear the wedding rings. You can't marry without the marriage rings, without wedding rings and the engagement rings. So I really hope that small parties like that will soon be able again.
I hope so too for you, because I've seen some of the stuff. I think my mom, she also bought some jewelry from you, and I also really like them, because sometimes she buys really weird stuff. I hope my mom is not listening, but anyways, that when she brought home the things from your shop, I really like them. So
thank you.
Yeah, they look great.
Thank you.
So recently we've kind of seen a shift to selling online a little bit more. But is that something that's also possible with jewelry?
It's very funny to say, but I made a few engagement rings this year, and all of them were bespoke pieces, and we bespoke them through video chats. So I asked them to have me to give me a little input, so I could prepare the video chat very well. I could take the pictures in style that they liked, and had a nice conversation with them, like, okay, what kind of stone do you like? I have like these options, these are the budget of the stones, how would you like to see the finish of the gold? This is an example of that finish. This is an example of a matte or polished, or with diamonds or without. Different models they liked. So it was really hard to adjust it. It was really crazy, but it is possible, because I first thought, okay, no one will do that. I guess I wouldn't even do that myself, to buy such a nice, valuable golden ring online. I would really do that in person, but it is possible. And I gave them also the assurance that it's hard to guess the ring size. You can have some online tools, but it really is impossible to have that with an online tool with circles. You have them. So I said to them,
send them some samples?
Yes, but if it's an engagement ring, they can't fit it, because then they know it. So that's why I said, okay, afterwards I will put it for free on the right side. So come into my shop and you have it in 1 week back. So.
Okay, and but it's allowed to send jewelry over mail and so on. It's not an issue.
It's possible to have it over mail, but I do prefer video calls. So you can see them in person, you can show them things, because in mail you have like 40 emails to communicate, because when you have a call you can do it like in a half an hour, 3/4, and it's easier to communicate, and then I know how to start and what they like.
Well, and it's also easier to convey the visual part, right? Because in the end, it's mostly a visible thing.
Yes.
So they need to see it, and it's probably also more easy to kind of show the product from different angles as well.
Indeed, but it's really hard, yeah, to communicate something so little as a jewel on an online tool. Like, it's really hard to have this sharp so you can see how it looks. So that's why the preparation is really important, that I can take the pictures of the things they mentioned they liked, and then I can send pictures so they can see it in real time. But you do need pictures to have the sharp details of the designs. So
Actually, I don't know if you are doing that already, but can't you make 3D images
yes,
of products you're selling?
I can make a simplified 3D drawing with the rendering, but also when the design talk led to a design, I make the drawing. So they get an email with the drawing from me, but it's important to take note that a drawing is never how it looks in real life, because sometimes in the drawing, you can't draw things that's done in real life and otherwise. So you can have them the idea, the concept. You can have them a very good visualization of how it would look, but in real life it's so much nicer and beautifuler, and yeah.
True. And it's also, I think, like the chemistry that people get if they can actually see a ring in person is very different than something you would get from a video call. Because then I guess then the couple starts to look at each other and they're like, oh no, I really like this and I'm looking forward to the wedding, and they get all excited, and it's probably very hard to simulate that over a video call.
Indeed.
And if they don't buy rings, do you place ads on the remote site for Delbosque?
No, I haven't placed ads on the sites, but on my personal Instagram and Facebook accounts, I support both. But it's not that on the site or the websites of the others that I communicate them, because it's a whole different target group. It's a whole different experience. Someone interested in a nice cocktail mostly isn't very interested in buying a jewel, because buying a jewel, that's really when you marry, when you're young, for a present like for Christmas or for birthday or Valentine. When you get older, when you want to transform goals, or when people get born for a nice gift. So it's really on those special times in your life, and it's not every year a special time in your life. So it's really on those moments to remember them that you buy a jewel, and that's something very different than buying a nice bottle to enjoy a good evening with friends. So
yeah, that's true. Is it mostly younger people that buy Delbosque then, or?
First of all, we wanted to target actually the younger people, but we really have very nice reviews of people past 40-45 years, because with their parents, with our grandparents, with their parents, they tasted elixir. So for them, it brings them back to the moment with their grandparents, and that's really nice. They are all like, I can. It makes me think of my mother, of those times. She likes that too. But for me now, it's a very more tastier way than the classic ones they drink. So young people
it's
like
kind
it.
of nostalgia that's coming back from them.
Yes, indeed. But that's
do you
nice.
have any of those things from your childhood that you want to try again right now to have the nostalgic feeling? Some things you miss, maybe?
Something that I remember that I did a lot as a child. Every Wednesday after school, I went with the bike to my grandmother, and yeah, she is really creative too. She always makes pieces with flowers. So every Wednesday after school, guess what I did as a kid? Together with grandma, she has a really nice big garden with lots of flowers. And yeah, it was like, okay, take whatever you want, put them together in the green foam that you need to soak in. And then every Wednesday I came home, look, mommy, what I made. So it's not that I would like to do it today again, but if you ask me, okay, a nice nostalgic memory of the past, and it's making flower compositions with my grandmother.
Is that something that's a very nice memory as well? Do you plan on having that as your third company then?
Actually, no.
Or the secrets that I told right now?
Yeah, I guess you.
I didn't know.
I'm at the moment brainstorming with my dad to make a nice metal furniture. Something you can put in the garden, a nice fire pit. So really hands-on products that you can use for nice moments with family, nice evenings with friends that you really can enjoy as a family. That can always stand there, be there as a decorative object. So yes, as a creative designer, I always have ideas and they never stop. But on the first place, the jewelry will always have my full focus. The Delbosque will be the focus together with my boyfriends, and when there is still time, I am at the moment working with my dad. To have a nice label, but I see it not finished this year. I see it more in the long term. We have a few products that we are now putting into prototyping, so soon to be announced.
It's so nice. And I discovered something new. So before the rest of them, before everyone else.
Actually, you have first.
Awesome.
Some people know it, but they already communicate about it, but never on that it was me with my dad. So
yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something that kind of unites the three companies, it seems, is that all the products that the company will make are kind of meant to be shared, or it's something that's meant for a shared event or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Is it something you thought about in your head before?
Maybe it is because I'm a real family person. I like to be with my friends. I like those nice moments, nice memories. So maybe that can be the binding ones. Also that it's with small productions. That it's not on big imports, but it's all local made. It's durable. It's good quality. That's also things that's always the number one value in everything I do. So it gives people a nice feeling.
Did you miss a lot of people during the lockdown period?
Yeah, of course. It's like in my workshop all days I'm most of the time on my own. So when I saw people, it was like after I'm done with work or in the weekends, and now that's also gone. So for me, I don't see a lot of people, so it is hard. And with the video chatting, it's really not the same. When I go with a friend for a walk, I really want to hug her, and that's not possible. So
I have the same experience. Right now, for my job, I have to work at home.
Yes.
The whole day, so it's always a 2D screen watching people. But I really crave seeing people in real life. There's nothing really at this point that can kind of substitute real life. And I don't think there might be someday, but at least for the next, I don't know, 20, 30 years, it's never going to be exactly the same. Yeah. There's a big advantage in being able to kind of touch somebody in real life, even if it's just like pushing them because they said something stupid or something funny. That's all very important.
Yeah, I think the touch of a person will have a whole different meaning when everything will be over.
Yeah.
So
I hope once this whole thing is over, there will be a very big party and everybody will join, everybody will drink a little bit, it will be a lot of fun.
little bit?
I don't know, Marjolein, are you a heavy drinker?
No. I just like a good party, and also my favorite parties in our hometown in Oudenaarde with the ronde, the cycling that arrives. It's like one of the best parties of the year, together with the beer parties. And in June, that's also something I every year look so forward to see all the people I studied with again, and that's so a nice, happy mood. Everyone in the crowd together, dancing, having fun, talking, and
It was cancelled this year.
Yes.
I'm not cycling like at all, but I always go to the party every year. It's so much fun, and that's actually like the one event in the year, except for maybe the beer party, thing, the beer feesten, as we say in Oudenaarde, where you actually get to meet all of your friends again.
Yes.
Because like at this age, people have moved to a lot of different places, and you don't really see a lot of them on a regular basis anymore.
But on that point, they all come back to the town where they studied or where they grew up.
You're making me miss it even more.
Soon we will dance again.
Yeah. But once we can go out again, oh man, it will be so much fun. So actually, Marjolein, to all my previous guests,
yes,
I always ask them one question.
Yeah.
So one question, and it is, what question would you ask, or do you want to ask yourself? Or if you can't find any question to ask yourself, you can also ask me a question. So if you want, now is the time for you to ask a question.
Let me think about it. Because I don't want to ask a stupid question.
There are no stupid questions.
No, but I like to look for something nice.
Okay. Do you know it?
No, not yet. So I suggest we should talk for a minute and then I will know.
So actually, you mentioned that you recently moved, right?
Yes.
You moved from, I guess, where did you live before? Do you live in Oudenaarde itself, or?
Yes, I grew up in Oudenaarde. I always went to school in Oudenaarde. My parents, my grandparents, they are all from Oudenaarde, so I really know a lot of people in Oudenaarde. But because my boyfriend is from Gulligem, that's like almost an hour from Oudenaarde, we moved in between. So we both need to go like a half an hour, 3/4, one ride to our job. So
you bought a house together, or you're renting something?
at the moment we are renting something, but we are looking to buy a house together. So okay, maybe a nice question for you. What would be your dream house? How would your dream house look like?
Dream house?
Yes.
That's definitely a question that has not been asked to me before on the podcast. But let me see, my dream house. I mean, let's see, what should it be? So,
maybe, no, see. You already know or not?
I kind of know, I guess, but it's mostly based on things that I miss right now. So now I live on my own. I don't have a roommate, but noticed that I have quite a lot of stuff
Yes.
lying around, and I'm not really bothered by mess a lot, but it starts to bother me that there's so much stuff lying around. So I want a bigger space. It doesn't have to be like a villa or something, but yeah, I mean, or there's enough place for a bedroom with hopefully someday a girlfriend or my wife, I don't know. Also, like a specific different place where I can work, or like you said, some kind of workshop maybe where I can
Yes.
try out new stuff and still have all the space to put things away. That would be nice. I was going to say a swimming pool as well, but I don't want to clean it. But I guess if I have a dream house, then I also have the resources to
Yeah.
make it stay clean, and that I don't have to do it myself. So then I would definitely add a pool and a sauna. Oh yeah, I love sauna. Yeah.
So you can directly go from the sauna to the pool.
Oh yeah, that's what you have to do, right? You go in the sauna first, and then when you're done, you just jump in the pool. That's the best thing to do.
Yes. Even when the pool isn't heated, when it's very cold, it does
Yes.
something very nice to your skin.
Especially,
And
yeah.
yeah, I like
Or
it
like-
too.
Well, once I went to a sauna and it snowed outside.
Yes.
There was 20 centimeters of snow. I don't know. And I exited the sauna and I just dropped in the snow. It's the best feeling ever.
I can imagine.
What does your dream house look like? Probably have a lot of ideas.
Actually, I have one specific idea in mind, so I hope it will be able one day. But I'm dreaming to renovate a very nice old barn house, not big, but all surrounded, by nature. So if I can see a forest, or if I can see cows or sheep walking or passing by, that would be more like the ideal place. But also space to work with. To work in. I think, especially since this year, people really appreciate having a different room where they can go for a moment to work or to be on their own, to be productive.
Yeah,
So-
I find it to be really helpful that there's a different
Yes.
place. Because when the lockdown started, I always worked in my own room, and my own room has a desk with just a desktop PC.
Yes.
But I also stayed there with my laptop from work. So when the job was done, I just closed my laptop, I opened up my computer, and I stayed in the same room the whole day. And it really starts to hurt your mind after a while, that there's no difference between working and your spare
Yes,
time.
that's true.
Now, as you can, I don't know if you can see, but I'm in the living room right now, and it's a lot better to switch it up.
Yeah.
All right. Marjolein, you mentioned you still needed to eat before this call. Did you have time? Did you have
Yeah,
time to eat?
I had time to heat something very quick and eat it up and be on
Okay,
time.
okay. I'm so glad you wanted to join this call. You're one of the people that I look up to in my own age category. I'm always looking for people that are kind of entrepreneurial and doing cool stuff, and you are certainly one of them. So I want to thank you so much for joining today, and I hope in the near future we can kind of have a drink together
Yes,
with Delbosque or
of
something
course.
else. You know, any drink, but preferably Delbosque, of course. And I hope we'll talk again soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you too for the very nice hosting of your podcast, of your event. So yeah, it was a really nice chat, and it was really nice to see each other again and to talk about a few stuff. So
All right, awesome. Thank you, Marjolein. Talk to you later. Bye.
bye.